What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Sunday evening. It's December 12th, 2021. We're approaching 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you all are really having a wonderful, relaxed weekend, ready to get back into it Money Monday. We're going to prepare for the upcoming week, talk about some stocks that we want to keep on watch going into next week, and see what popped off last week. All the stocks that popped off, are they worth keeping an eye on? Break it down. And if you guys have any stocks that you have on your radar that you want me to take a look at, feel free to comment them and I'll pull them up and give you my opinion on if they're worth keeping an eye on for any potential opportunity down the road. So, all right, let's jump into this and let's kick things off. First off, Sgma, we're going to talk about here real quick since it's up right now. So, Sgma, this bad boy started to take off at the end of the day, Friday. Friday in the morning, there really was not much going on. It was actually pretty slow. We didn't really have anything on the gap scanners pre-market. And if you're a part of the Discord here and a part of the Ultimate Pass, every single Friday we stream and trade live in the Discord. And we're going to be slowly moving over to Vimeo going into 2022. So Friday we were trading live and it was pretty slow. Not much was gapping up on the gap scanners. We really had to be patient and wait for opportunity to come to us. So Sgma, just after 12 p.m., starts to heat up and take off from 8 rips up to $10. And if we go back into the Friday chat here, Friday in the Discord, I even said Sgma, it has potential over 1050s. And as this started to heat up and break over $10 here in 1050s, it took a while for it to really get up and going, but this lifted up to 13, pulls back to 12, and then right 1 hour before the close, all this volume just comes exploding in. And from 12, just even after hours, exploding all the way up to $18. So going into Monday, who knows what's going to happen with Sgma. This could definitely gap up $30, $40, and be gone. So it's getting to the point, Sgma going in on Monday, it's already done, made its move, and it's gone. Don't get caught up in the hype on Sgma because it's up a lot, and who knows where it's going to gap up Monday. A lot of opportunity we see out here every single day in the stock market. A lot of opportunity. Stocks running from $8 up $10 in half a day. We see this all the time. So much opportunity. So I'm actually going to pull back up the Discord here. And as we go about, we're going to write out our weekly watch list. So the first one, of course, we're going to have Sgma on the list. And we're also going to throw in ISIG. ISIG, this one had a lot of really good opportunity on it last week. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Monday here is when the party started. On Monday, it ran from $5 up to $16. Then it had a rest day on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, it exploded from $10 all the way up to 24 bucks. And then Thursday, from 16, explodes up to 36. That's a $20 move right there on Thursday. So then on Friday, we had a dip down and it's went consolidated. So going into Monday, we could see a nice bounce and a continuation potentially on ISIG. This is a nano float stock. The float on this is under 1 million. So the supply under 1 million on ISIG, this could definitely run right back up to 30, 35. Then it breaks to new highs, runs to 50. This easily could run $50, $75, $100 just because of how low that float is. It's a nano float. So it looks like we had somebody comment Nvidia, Sava, ABNB, PFE. David Friedman. Hey, Mr. Wolf, I sold Sgma for 13 and took a little loss. Then it went supernova. Hey, man, it happens. You got to get that time under your belt and see these big movers like this and learn from them. And when these big movers pop up as well, you can't get caught up in the emotion of it and the hype, because you can easily just blow up your account easily. I call them account killers. So let's take a look here at some of the stocks somebody commented. So these are large priced stocks, blue chip stocks. I normally don't pay attention to these large cap priced stocks. So we got Nvidia here. This recently pulled back for 3 days. It's in a confirmed downtrend. You could see some upward momentum on this, back up to maybe 315. If it doesn't break over 315, then the downtrend is most likely to continue on Nvidia. I would watch for it to not break down below 300. You don't want it to break down below that. If it breaks down below 300, next stop for it's going to be 275, 250. These large cap stocks, you're going to be trading options more than likely with these high priced stocks, because if you were to buy shares of this, you're going to be putting up a lot of money to buy 50 shares, 100 shares. So your best bet is to trade options. And we all know, if you don't know what you're doing with options, that could be a little sketch. You can lose a lot of money trading options. People gravitate into you don't need to put up much money to get into options. That's why it's so popular. So Nvidia, that's the levels you're going to be looking out for. It's in a confirmed downtrend. It's pulling back. Long term, it could definitely rifle right back up to new highs. Most definitely. But you got to take a look back as well and look at how far Nvidia has came. Here it ran up to 78 bucks, pulls back, and then ever since, let's see, August of 2019, it's been in nothing but an uptrend from $37 all the way up to 350 bucks just about. That's unreal growth right there. Just unreal. So it had long consolidation here, been in a nice uptrend, and then you got a nice follow-up move here. I could see this probably pulling back down 250s long term. Nvidia. Sava. Sava has always been a sketchy one. It can't hold its gains. Sava has been more of like I would say day trading opportunity stock. If you try to swing trade a stock like Sava, you get burnt a lot because this stock, it just can't hold its gains. It's looking like it's about to have a big downfall on it. If this breaks down below 40 bucks, this is going to free fall all the way down to $12 a share. It's got a lot of room it can free fall down. Yeah, you could just tell there's a lot of weakness on it. It just can't hold its gains. Something that rips up like this and then gives back 100% of its up move, that's not strong. That's not strength. There's a lot of selling pressure going in on this. So it's like a basketball. Falls down, there's your bounce. Falls down, there's your bounce. So this is puttering out and it's about to break down through that support and it's going to free fall super hard. So Sava, that ain't looking too good for longs. ABNB. Another high-priced stock. Almost $200 a share. So ABNB, this could run up and test $200. It's pulling back right now. I would not want to see it fall down below 175. That would be my area for a test up to $200. So you got about a $25 range on ABNB. PFE, medium priced stock. So this just went on a good run from 40 up to 56 on the daily chart. It's pulling back. It's in a confirmed downtrend. It really needs to break back up over 55 to continue its up move. Yeah, it's in a confirmed downtrend. So just slap on your trend line right here on it. It's trying to break over that trend right now. Until it does, it's going to run back up, retest its highs up here at 55. It may even try to go in range here from 52 to 55, build up and break up over that. It's just going to take time. The float on these larger priced stocks, look at the float. It's 5.6 billion, the float on this. So anytime you have a huge float like this, it's going to take time. And if you're trading options, that's another factor you got to factor in. With a large float like this in the billions, it's going to take a lot of volume to get prices moving and in a direction. And with options, you got time decay. You got to factor that in. And that's why options, it's against you a lot of the times, because you can see a setup and you could see what's going to happen. But the question is, how long is it going to take for it to make that move? And that's where the time decay comes in. And that's why a lot of times options expire worthless. And then a week later, your setup goes. So options, it's tricky. Another thing to keep in mind if you're swing trading, look at the industry and sector your stock is in. If it's in a pharmaceutical industry, I wouldn't swing trade a pharmaceutical stock. That's suicide. Because all it takes is for Pfizer to come out with a bad FDA and the stock's going to have a 50% or more haircut. Good example is, and we see it all the time. Look at, this is a pharmaceutical top with the name up here. Look at that big gap down from $37, and in one night, it's all the way down here at $8 a share. That's a huge haircut. So now everybody who was long-term and adding this into their portfolio, they're all underwater as it's down here. And that could really, really hurt your portfolio if you're swing trading these pharmaceutical stocks. So pharmaceuticals, I look at pharmaceuticals, they're just day trading opportunities. That's all they are. Pharmaceuticals, we see so many huge gap downs on them. And all it takes is for one bad press release to destroy it. There's so much opportunity that's out here. I normally like to focus my attention on stocks that are priced between $5 upwards to about $50, maybe $100 if the volatility is there. PPSI this past week, we got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Monday, it didn't do anything here. Tuesday here from $7.50 gets a nice rip up to $9. Then going into Wednesday, from $8.50, we had a $4 per share explosion to the upside. So from $8.50, explodes up here to $12. Gives everything back, and then going into Thursday, from $10 here, we got a nice explosion up to almost $14.50. So 2 days, this stock ran up a total of $8 a share. That's opportunity right there. And the way I look at it, when you have a stock that has good range and volatility like this, it's a good price. $8.50 a share, $10 a share. I mean, 1,000 shares could buy you at $8.50. That's $8,500 to buy 1,000 shares. And if a stock rips up $2, that's $2,000 in your pocket. You've made 25% on your investment in what? Maybe 15 minutes? That's the opportunity the stock market gives you if you just patiently wait as traders. So we see a lot of good opportunity in stocks within this price range. Another example, LGVN, for instance. LGVN from $17 here, this thing exploded up to $25. So from 17 to 25, that's an $8 explosion to the upside, all within 10 minutes. Here, from $19, explodes up to 24. That's another $5 per share rip right there. So a lot of good rips on these stocks. And then everybody remembers, and we were just talking about it, ISIG. This thing from $6 a share in just 3 days, all the way up to 36. That's a $30 per share move to the upside. And every day, this stock has ran $10, $15 or more. And this is just one stock out of the thousands of stocks in the stock market. So a lot of good opportunity. It's all about what you want to focus on, what you see opportunity in. Talking about Sgma, I saw the volume on this coming in before you ended your stream last week. Yeah, Sgma, that was a really, really good move. Really good move. You got to look at the environment as well. On Friday in the morning, there was nothing going on in the morning. Everything was fading out, falling off. You got to think too, every Friday, You have all of these options expiring on Fridays. Market wasn't doing too well. It was selling off the SPY, the NASDAQ. So nothing was going on. It was pretty slow Friday morning. So a lot of traders are just sitting and waiting for that one stock to pop and go. Well, out of nowhere, Sgma pops up, and everybody's like, finally, something pops up. And you got to think ahead. Nothing's going on. Everybody's waiting for that one stock to pop up. And our prayers have been answered. Sgma pops up. Volume starts to come into it. And just supply and demand and balance. Stock explodes up $10 a share the last 3 hours of the day. That's how fast opportunity can come in. I totally botched it and tried scalping it with large size. Really dumb. Getting caught up in the moment, I would say. That's what happened. Here, in the weekly chat that we have, I always try to constantly remind everybody, don't get caught up in the moment, guys. Take a step back and wait. Opportunity should come to you. Don't chase after opportunity, because there's a lot of opportunity out here. Yeah, when you got stocks that are ripping up like this, they're ripping up $2, $3 a share effortlessly. You don't need that many shares to make good money. I mean, look at LGVN, for example. Let's zoom in on a day right here. I mean, look at this. The stock from 1975 effortlessly rips up to $21 right there. Gets a micro pullback to 2050, and from 2050, this thing rockets up to over $22. So just alone right there, that's a $2 per share rip in 1 minute. And this thing continued to push all the way up to almost $24. So that in just a couple minutes, that's almost $5 per share explosion to the upside. So 250 shares of that, a stock skips up $2. That's $500 in your pocket, just like that. And it's all in the way you guys look at the chart. I say that all the time. It's all in the way you look at the chart. You got a nice $21 here. That's a nice psychological level. The stock pulls down just below 20. Right there. $20. We know that's a nice psychological level, right? Rips up to 21. Pulls back to 2050 here. And it's all, you got to be fast paced and quick on your feet as a day trader and put together a plan as quickly as possible, because your risk versus reward ratios are constantly changing as the market continues on. So as I just said, you're sitting here and watching this and you're seeing it set up. And this is where a lot of newer people, they freeze up. They don't know what to do. It's just simply because they don't have no experience under their belt. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to react. They don't know if they can trust themselves because they don't have no experience behind them to work off of. So by showing up every day, guys, and getting in that screen time, this is where it all pays off down the road. I've been doing this for almost 7 years. So by showing up every single day the last 7 years, you see this stuff over and over and over and over and over again. And then by studying all of these chart patterns and putting all these little nuggets that you pick up along the way, you start developing your own trading style and strategy and what you like to look out for. So continuing on, you guys know that I like to look out for psychological levels, price areas. Nice $20 there. All right, I got my bottom in. Stock rips up to 21, the high up there, pulls back here to 2050. I could enter in right there and I could tell myself, hey, I'm going to put my stop loss down here below 20. I'm going to risk 50 cents for a push up over this high at 21 to a new high up at 22, 23, 24, 25 even. We determine our reward by scrolling out and looking left. What was the last area the stock spiked to in the history? So by scrolling out on this and looking back here to the left, I could see right there that this stock ripped up to $24 right there last time. And it ripped up to $25 right there. And it was just all hanging around right here at 25. So if this stock rips up over 21, it's got a good chance of running back up here to $24, $25. So you could be telling yourself, as this is setting up, and when I'm putting together my game plan, all right, if this breaks over 21, it's got a good shot at running up to 24, 25. So this is where your risk versus reward ratios come in. Going back, I'm risking 50 cents to make $4, $3 a share. That's a phenomenal risk versus reward ratio. Phenomenal. That's all putting it together on the fly quickly. And for you guys that are a part of the Discord, every Friday when we stream live, we do this all the time, every Friday. You guys are seeing me in the market when it opens up. We patiently sit and wait. And when something comes along, what do? I'm putting together a plan. I'm determining the risk versus reward. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And then you, at first, when you start doing this, you're slow at it. You're going to be slow. But the more you practice at something, the faster and better you get. Have post-its all my monitor now to keep myself from doing this because this behavior has been killing my progress. Over time, you're just going to learn that this is a mental game that we play here. We've talked about this many, many times before. Everybody's taught to look out for triangles, U-shapes, head and shoulders, pennants, easy patterns, and anybody can learn chart patterns. So if they're so easy to learn and everybody's taught to look out for these patterns, why do 90% of people still fail and lose money? Because they're battling themselves. Someone mentions Michael C on TX. Garbage. It's a newer IPO. every single time the stock would spike up, it gives back 100% of its gains. So anytime you see a stock rip up and give back over 75% of its run up, it's not worth keeping an eye on. I mean, look at the daily chart. You got a long red upper wick candle there. The stock failed. A big fail day there. And when you see these big fail days, even with big volume, you got to think too, there's a lot of people trapped and they're holding on to this stock. So if the stock ever gets back up to these price levels, you're going to run into a lot of resistance because people got caught thinking that, hey, this stock can run and go. Now they're back holding and hoping for it to run right back up. So until CNTX runs up, this needs to break up over $8.50 and it needs to break over $10 to get people excited for it. Until it gets back up above $8.50 and $10, it's not worth keeping an eye on. That's my 2 cents on CNTX. I wouldn't keep this on watch for day trading. It's garbage. Never fall in love with stocks. Yes, you commented CNTX 5 times. You're in love with it. So if I was to guess, you are invested in it and probably bag holding. EVGO. There's some potential on EVGO. It broke its downtrend here on the 10-minute with this up move. It's gearing up and pulling back. This has to break up and over 1350 for that momentum and volume to push into it. And if it gets up above that 1350, we could see 1450, 1550. Let's see. 16. That's all the potential it could run up to. But until then, as it's down here, I would just put an alert at 1350, and if that alert triggers on my charting platform, then I would repull it back up, reevaluate the situation, and just monitor it and keep tabs on it. A lot of the time, if you see potential in a stock, it doesn't hurt to keep it on your watch list. Remember that. I mean, we had PPSI on our watch list in the Discord for over 2 weeks as it consolidated and set up right here. And look what happened with PPSI. This offered a lot of good opportunity for 2 days as it would run up, and it finally broke up over that 850. This thing exceeded our expectations and exploded to the upside. Even right now, PPSI, this is definitely still a good watch going into next week. I'm going to keep PPSI on my weekly watch list. So EVGO, for the person who commented, I would put your alert at 1350. And even when you look at the intraday chart here on a 1-minute time frame, I'll draw a line right at that 1350. Look at it, how many times the stock failed at 1350. That's an area of interest. when it ripped up over 1350, it failed to hold it as support. And then when it fell down and when it would rip back up, 1350 was acting as resistance. It was acting as resistance there. So that's an area it needs to get up and over. As I tell you guys, it's all in the way you look at the charts. It's all, everybody looks at charts differently. Some people, they may be looking at this and they'll say, I don't see 1350. I see 1325. That's the area I see. Or $13. If that's the area you see, go for it. I'm not stopping you. It's all, we all have different beliefs. All of us do. It's all in the, we all look at charts differently. Everybody sees opportunity in different places. But I trust in myself and what I know and what I see. I make money on what I see, so I'm going to continue to focus on what I see every day, because that's what counts. Moving on. HOOD beaten down so much, cut in half. It's hated, maybe due to Rip Ford. Robinhood. A lot of people hate Robinhood ever since what happened with GameStop and AMC restricting people to trade those stocks. And a lot of people lost a lot of money last year when all of that happened. So yeah, that's a big part of it. A lot of people are moving on from Robinhood. They don't like Robinhood. They don't trust it. There's a bigger following with Webull. And yeah, ever since Robinhood IPO'd, it had one good pop on it. And after that, it's just been downhill. There's really no point in keeping an eye on Robinhood right now. It's in a very confirmed downtrend. And this thing's just getting demolished. Yeah, there's no point keeping an eye on Robinhood. DWAC, that's a good one. There was a lot of good opportunity on DWAC last week. This stock exploded from 50 bucks all the way up to 65 and continued to push all the way up to almost 70 bucks. That's a $20 per share run to the upside in just one day. That's phenomenal opportunity. It's going to be super important for DWAC to hold up at this 55 support right there. I could definitely see this running back up to 60. If it breaks through 60, running to 65. DWAC, there's a lot of potential in this. I'm going to keep this on the weekly watch list. Definitely. That's what it's all about, guys. Going through these charts over the weekend, blowing through them, seeing how they moved. How many different times did this stock give opportunity? That's the way I look at it. And the way that it's setting up, it's pulling back very, very tightly. Even the daily chart looks really, really good. Let's see. This area, 60 bucks. About right there. It fell down from that area. It lifted up. It poked up right through that area at 60. Now it's pulling back and it's like gearing up for that explosion up over 60, 65. This could easily we've remember from the past, you guys, back when DWAC went on that insane run right here, who was around back in October when DWAC, with that news with Trump, this thing exploded. That was phenomenal. I want to see if we posted any charts of DWAC. I believe we did. We got to go back a little bit. Back in November, we were talking about it. Here's some action here on DWAC from 58 to 65. DWAC, it likes to set up a lot of textbook patterns. Yeah, we talk about DWAC a lot. And this is when it started to go insane, when it was breaking up over $75. The next day it gapped up to 175. Yeah, I remember that. A lot of really good opportunity. And traders remember these stocks that ran in the past. If something went supernova parabolic and it ran from $10 up to $100 in a day, fast forward 3 months, if that stock pops up again, traders are going to pull that stock up and they're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that stock, it ran a lot a few months ago. I'm going to keep eyes on it. And you have to think like that. See, look at DWAC here on the 1 minute. Back in middle of October, from $10, this thing exploded all the way up to 30. Even going back earlier here, from 950, explodes up to 14. Pulls back to 11, it squeezes up to 18, pulls back and consolidates. And this is the nice psychological levels. Pulls back, consolidates, finds support at $15. From 15, explodes up to $20 a share, just about. That's a $5 per share move. That's what I like about Discord. We can always go back up to the search here, and if there's a specific stock we want to pull up and see that if we talked about it in the past, you can easily do that. So with DWAC, yeah, there's a lot of good upside opportunity on this. What else we got? RIVN. If I can type. RIVN up over $100. It's breaking out of a downtrend. This could get a nice snap up to 120. If it breaks over 125, this could definitely rip up to 130s. maybe 150 it could run up to. But Rivn, this is trying to get a reverse and get a good snap to the upside. So going into Monday, I would look for it to hold up. Hold up above 112. Right there. If it holds 112 and it pushes up over that 115, you could see a really good rip up to 120, 125. So Rivn, yeah, that's looking bullish. LCID. So LCID got beat down from 45 down here to 36. That's a $10 per share pullback. It's trying to gear up. Friday, it spent all day just setting up, getting really, really tight. It's trying to get a nice snap to the upside. We could see, I'm going to say $40 on LCID. So from 37, upside potential $3. We would put our stop probably down below 37. So risking 50 cents to make $3 a share. That's good. LCID, that's a good one to keep an eye on. I'll throw it on the weekly watch list. But remember, it's in a confirmed downtrend. So whenever stocks have bad juju and they're in a downtrend, just play the trend. See, resistance is right there at $40 if you were to connect your lower highs. So chances of it continuing to break up over 40 are slim. If anything, just play the trend. That's all you're doing. Nothing more. And of course, you had to have mentioned Tesla, huh? Tesla still holding that key 1,000 area. That's a really, really big level for Tesla. And it's holding that 50-day moving average on the daily chart. You see with all of the long wicks here, there's a buyer down there propping it up. So it's really up in the air with Tesla. It could push back up to the top of the trend line here at 1100, or that buyer that's been propping it up, he could get absorbed, and then once that buyer is gone, then it could free fall. But for some reason, there's a lot of people that love to short Tesla. It's my whole career, there's been a lot of hate on Tesla. A lot of people just think it's up way too much and they short it. And Tesla just keeps squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. So from my history and experience, never fight Tesla. Always go long on Tesla because it just squeezes the life out of shorts every time. Tesla's a juggernaut for sure. And then AMC. So recently AMC got a big haircut from $45. It got about a 50% haircut as it free falled all the way down to $27 a share. Last week, it had a nice rebound, from 25 all the way up to $34. It ran for 3 days straight. But then right when it topped out at 34, it quickly crumbled and it fell super hard, but right back down to where it came from. If anything, we'll see maybe another bounce on it back up to $30, but I see AMC continuing to fall. It's below its 200-day moving average on the daily chart. It's below its 50-day, its 100-day. That's super bad. AMC's in bear territory. If it falls below 25, this is going to free fall to 20, 15. It could free fall to 12, 10. And the more AMC starts to crumble and fall apart with as much of a following it has, you got to look back and think there's a lot of people that been holding on to this from all these price levels. And the lower AMC goes, these people are going to start to panic and freak out. And they're going to jump off the ship, which causes for prices to get driven down even more. I've been throwing out the warning signs for AMC, and people just always bring up, you don't get the movement, you don't realize the naked shorts, the short interest. You can't emotionally marry these stocks, you guys. You can't. Think of the times that we're in right now. Everything is streaming online. Nobody goes to the theaters anymore. AMC, what's it trying to do with all of its press releases? They're talking about Bitcoin and accepting Bitcoin. They're doing everything they can to stay relevant. Anything. Because they know their end is coming near. And then what happened recently? The CEO, CFO, they unload shares. How much did they sell? Let's see. You got a 4 and 4 there. That's an insider selling. Another 4 and 4. That's an insider selling. AMC falls after CEO disclose stock sale. So let's pull up this 4 and 4. So this guy sold 18,000 at $30 average price. So when you have the CEO and that's the head of the company, he's unloading and selling shares. He's trying to get the heck out of Dodge. He wants to take money off the table. He's given up hope. So if you have the CEO selling, that's not good. You got to face reality. I'm not trying to be the bad guy here and point the finger and say, hey, I told you so. But you got to think differently than the 90% of people who fail and lose money. You have to be that 10% who thinks outside of the box. And when you see everybody running towards something, history repeats itself. Majority of people lose money and buy at the top, and the 10%, they're selling to the dumb money. This guy here just sold 312,000 shares at $30. So these guys are all unloading. It's not looking good. We're also at the end of the year too, so everybody is clearing out their portfolios. They want to start a new year fresh. They want to sell all of their bags they accumulated 2021, and they want to go into a new year with a fresh portfolio ready to take another crack at it. Yeah, AMC, until we start to see, we could keep eyes on it. If the downtrend on it ever breaks, it needs to, it's got a lot of levels it's got to get through. Levels AMC needs to get through. It's got to get through $30 and hold above that. It's got to get through 35 and hold above that. It's got to get through $40 and hold above that. It's got to get through $45 and hold above that. You get the theme here I'm going with. So every $5, it's looking like AMC likes to move. So right now, currently, it's at this $25 level. If 25 goes, what's the next level down below? $20. So the more AMC falls, the more levels in the future we got to get up through. So currently, right now, this is a lot of levels to get through. And AMC, it goes all the way up to $75. So every $5 is going to be a level for AMC. Until then, it's in a confirmed downtrend. Sit on your hands, wait. Maybe in the beginning of the year, things turn around and it gets a nice move to the upside. We'll see. But until then, there's no point in what I see a lot of people doing on Twitter. Every single time AMC falls down, I hear everybody on Twitter, I'm buying more. I'm buying more. I'm buying more. So what they're doing is they're averaging down every single time AMC falls lower. That could be really, really bad, because the more this free falls, yeah, your average price is going down, but you're just chasing a dumpster fire. And before you know it, you're going to be on a margin call. Your brokerage is going to close out your position because you just ran through all of your money. The whole point of this, you guys, is to live to trade another day. Don't let one stock come in and take away all of the potential opportunity you can have. There's over 3,000 stocks in the stock market. Don't waste your time just focusing on just one name. And then you're missing out on all of these other opportunities that we see come and go every single day. ISIG, for example. Look at that up move you could have taken advantage of. LGVN. Look at that up move you could have taken advantage of. Handful of names. PPSI. Multiple opportunities on this. LCID. With an epic move from 22 up to almost $60 a share. There's all kinds of opportunity out here, and we see it every single day. DWAC recently with a nice up move from 35 up to almost $70. We're seeing these stocks, they're running like $20, $40 in just a few short days or weeks. So all kinds of opportunity out here in the stock market. I can't preach it enough. Don't fall in love with these stocks. What we're trading every day, they're garbage companies. They're either just starting up or they're on their way out the door. Take advantage of the now, the opportunity today. Tomorrow could be another story. Something new will pop up Monday, and it'll grab everybody's attention for that day. And then Tuesday, guess what? something something brand new will pop up, and everybody will gravitate over to that. And then what was hot on Monday, people will just slowly forget about it because something new popped up. You got to look at it in terms of every year when Apple drops their new iPhone and products, their stores are completely jam-packed, aren't they? When these big consoles like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, when they drop brand new consoles, what happens? Everybody goes crazy and they go and buy them and they're sold out. And then the stores, they can't keep up with the scalpers. So prices go up, right? Don't join everybody else. So are you going to give in and buy an Xbox from a scalper for $800? Or are you going to patiently wait for the shelves to refill and get it 50% cheaper than what that scalper's selling it for and buy it for $400? If you give in and buy that $800 console, it's the same thing that applies in the stock market. Give me 1 second. Let me get a drink of water here. Yeah, I know. I still can't even get a new Xbox. I still have the white one. You could find them all day in stores, but not the X. Is the market going up or down next week, Wolf? Who knows, man? Take it one day at a time. Nobody can predict which way the market's going to go. Biden can come out and say, hey, everybody's on lockdown. Nobody can leave the United States. And the market could react to that. It sends a shock over the financial markets. Anything could happen around the world. Anything. So it's pointless to try to predict which way the SPY, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones are going to go. Just take it a day at a time. Hold on, give me 1 second, you guys. I got to get something to drink. All right, here we go. Yeah, when it comes to these indexes, like the SPY, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, it could be really, really hard to trade these types of names and the indexes because you have the whole world focusing on these names. The whole world are watching these indexes, which makes it harder for them to trade because you have so many different beliefs and personalities, trading styles, strategies. It just leads to randomness. Oh yeah, HGTY. We had this on watch all week last week. This had a really good day 2 weeks ago here, exploding to the upside. And then as you can see, this thing just went sideways right at $16. And I kept telling everybody in the Discord every day, you guys, HGTY, I could easily see this thing skipping up to 20 bucks. Come Friday, this thing just kept moving up and moving up non-stop all the way up to 20. We didn't trade it or anything, but it didn't give an opportunity and no volume. Not enough volume came into it to take advantage of it. So we had to just sit and watch this as it ran without us. We had our attention on ISIG last Friday as it sold off in the morning there. We waited just before noon. It bottomed out here at 19 and it had a good $2 push here as it broke over its downtrend. About right there. Just breaks over that downtrend right at 20 bucks. Nice psychological level from 20. Nice explosion up to almost 22 up there. Quickly fell down and then it was just in a range the rest of the day. From 19 up to 21, back and forth. ISIG, this is definitely still in play. I wouldn't sleep on this name. LGVN. This name is still in play too. I like it. If it can get that momentum and push up over 21, 22, this could run back up to 25s. This stock, it loves to just rip dollars and then give it all back. So being there at the right moment could be very rewarding for LGVN. I mean, just look at this thing. Step up right there and get that nice explosion up. $17 up to 23. That's a $6 move to the upside. All I need is a slice of that out of this whole move right there from 23 and 17. All I need is just a little slice of that pie. That's all I need. So I'm going to throw LGVN. Along with ISPC. And in case you guys haven't noticed, I love these stocks that are between $10, $20 a share because they just, every day we just see them rip up dollars effortlessly. And to me, that's where opportunity is. BFRI popped up on Friday. And it popped a few times this last week, but Friday was when it really started to try and get and go. There was a lot of opportunity on this. Right from the open here at 5, it exploded up to 650, pulled back to 6, retest the high at 650, but no volume, not enough volume came into it. And it gave back, and it even tried to come back again right here. But there was just no momentum in the morning on Friday. It's like everybody was sleeping in. So you had to be very selective in what you traded on Friday. I'm going to keep HGTY just on. I'm not going to add it to the weekly watch list. I'll just keep it on my list because I'm just interested to see what happens with this name going forward. BBW, volume's getting pretty dried up on this. I'm over it. It's got to break up over 23. IOBT, the potential is there, but volume's dried up. This company needs to put out a press release. CFVI, yeah, this still got potential. This could easily push up to 1450. And if it breaks over 15, it's at new highs. And it's a low flow, I believe. Medium float, 30 million float. Look at the daily chart. It's setting up a similar pattern. You got your red day, nice green day. 2 red days, nice big green day. 2 red days. Now on this next day, we could see a nice good green day. Breaks over that 15, like we just talked about. Everybody will be chasing after it. There's potential. ADGI, volume's drying up. PETV, nothing's gonna happen. CPIX, this name fell apart. OLMA, volume's drying up. CYAD, volume's drying up. GRAB, this had potential, but nothing ever happened. So I'm going to delete all of these names. Go over here. And let's look at Sgma. We talked about that one. Yeah, we added it to the list. NCLH. A lot of like cruise liners and airliners, those had a really good week last week. DAL, Delta, American Airlines, CCL, Carnival Cruises, NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines. Those all had good moves last week. There was a lot of unusual options volume flowing into those names. HCP, this is a new IPO. This has a lot of potential on it. This could run up to $100. And if it breaks over 100, this thing could definitely rip. I'll keep it on watch. I could see all the airliners and cruise liners pulling back a little bit more and then potentially getting a nice push on them. These are more of like swing trading stocks. There goes CCL. Very good run last week. From about 17 up to 20. That's a $3 up move. DAL Delta. 35 up to about 40. That's a $5 up move. Yup, EFOI. This had a lot of potential, but it didn't follow through. This was on everybody's watch going into Friday. It was gapping up, looking like it was squeezing. It really had to hold that 450 area to push up to 5 and break up higher, but as you can see, just faded out all day. JMIA, this was hot last week too. Monday from 10 for the next 3 days, it ran all the way up to 15. Nice $5 push to the upside. SYTA garbage. ENSC. This still has potential. ENSC still has potential to squeeze, keep on back burner. If this rips up over 5, this could rip up to 6, and if it breaks over 6, it could really get going. The float on ENSC, where are you at? Right there. It's only 7 million float, 8 million float. So that's kind of a small float. I see a lot of people, they're always looking at, they'll like disregard the float and they'll look at the short interest. Ever since GameStop and AMC exploded up so much and it was a short squeeze and they seen that it had a high short interest, everybody's just all on the lookout for high short interest and short float. And it's like, just because something has a high float or a short float doesn't mean it has to squeeze. Keep it basic. If a stock has a low float, which that's supply, that stock can rip. That's what you want to look out for. CIINN. This had the potential to squeeze right there, but it failed. It squeezed up right there, and it should have continued right when it reopened out of that halt. But look at how this thing got driven down super hard. That's a failed squeeze right there. Now everybody's trapped at 550. So if IINN ever does come back again, you got to keep in mind, and maybe even write a note. $5, $5.50. There's a lot of people bag holding from them price levels, hoping it comes back up. And then that could be your huge whales that you guys are running into when stocks come back. Bag holders. It's a never-ending repeating process. Let me pull up the screener here. Look at the top stocks that were on my screener for Friday. WEJO, no. NBSE, no. All light volume. Sgma was the one. And HGSH. Crappy penny stock. ESSC. The float on this is a perfect example. Look at the float on this stock. It's only 2.6 million float. That's a low supply of something. So that float is 2.6 million. Now we can look at this daily chart. Look at how much prices have risen. From 10, it's hitting new highs up here at 14. And the volume that's been coming in on this on average, about 300K on average every day. That's the lightning bolt. If you have a lightning bolt, which is, look at volume as the lightning, and the float, that's the supply. So that lightning hits the supply, which is a low supply. The float's only 2.6 million. You're going to have that imbalance with supply and demand, and that's what creates price action. So it doesn't take much volume to get prices up and going. That's why you see a lot of gurus out here. They love to keep an eye out for these low float stocks. You're not really going to hear too many gurus talking about Ford F or trying to pump it, because if you look at the float on Ford, look at the float on this. It's almost 4 billion. That's a huge supply. So he's going to need a lot of volume to get prices up and going. But there's a benefit and a plus side to higher float stocks. You got to think of high float stocks like this, 4 billion, like they're a freight train. And once a freight train starts going in one direction, it's kind of hard for it to stop on a dime. So not one person can manipulate it. And look what Ford did. Ford's been on a tear, but look at how long it's been on a tear for. All of 2021 pretty much, because everybody keeps jumping on and joining the party. Slap a trend line on that. Connect it all the way out. It did fall down below right there, but they were able to reclaim it and retrend it all the way back up. Now it's squeezing up over that trend line again. squeezing up even higher. I believe Ford is like the top 5 popular stock on Robinhood and Webull. So a lot of these kids out here, they love Ford. And they have it in their long-term portfolios. It's a good move on Ford all day. 1970s up to 2150. It's a $2 move. Oh yeah, we also had AERC on watch. This bad boy's been setting up. If we get that break over 1450, there's a lot of upside potential with this name. I'm going to create an alert on it. Yeah, because that could easily come back. But so far on this list, I like this list. I'm going to add all these to my list for my weekly watch list. So we got Sgma, ISIG, PPSI, DWAC, LCID, LGVN, ISPC, CFVI, HCP, and ENSC. Ticker symbol OXY. That sounds familiar. But if Warren Buffett is getting his hands involved with this, this is more of like a long-term hold. I'm not really looking for long-term holds. I'm looking for day trading opportunities. Stocks that I could easily get in and out of the same day and then sit on my cash and wait for that next opportunity to come along. So OXY with the news with Warren Buffett, hey, that could be a good sign for you for long-term investing. Looks like it's trying to gear up, break up over that $40. I would say OXY, it's got room to push up to 40, but it's got levels to break up through. You got to break up through that 40, and then you got to break up through 45 and that big $50. If you can get up through those levels long term, I'd say that's looking good for long-term holding. But for day trading, this isn't a type of stock for day trading. This is more of a swing trading long-term stock. See, look at the float on OXY. The float on OXY is 932 million. So that's a pretty huge float. So as day traders, when you pull up these stocks and you instantly see a high float like that, you're like, not worth it. Because you just know I need a lot of volume to get prices up and going and have good volatility to make money. And the more volume you need, the bad, because I don't want to rely on 932 million in volume to come in to have a price fluctuation so I can get in and out, have good volatility. That's why I said that's why a lot of these gurus out here, they like focusing on low float stocks. Like look at ISIG. And the float on ISIG is like super, super low. Go in here real quick and just show you. See, look at the float on ISIG. Right there. On Finviz, it says the float's only 1.6 million. That's a super low float. It's almost under a million in the supply. And the volume, look at the volume. Friday it traded 12 million. So when you look at the float, 1.6 million, and the volume on the day was at 13 million just about. They rotated that supply around 12, 13 times. So that's a lot of float rotation. And the more you rotate that float with the volume, that's what causes for stocks to have huge run-ups like this, where you could see them just insane. $8 to $16, $8, $25, $15, $35. I mean, these are just insane moves. Insane. What's going on, Aba? Hopefully you had a good weekend, my dude. Or just going through, checking out the stocks that popped off last week, putting together our weekly watch list. I already posted the weekly watch list in the Discord for you guys. So going into next week, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different stocks right here that I see upside opportunity. And we don't even know what will pop up on Monday. Monday, we could come in and there's 2, 3, maybe 4 really good looking setups that are gapping up on the gap scanners. And we can throw those up on our watch for the day. You can also have AMC on watch. I mean, it doesn't hurt to watch AMC every day because we already know there's a lot of volume focused on AMC. I mean, look at the volume every single day on AMC. So all you got to do, just by watching AMC, you get used to the personality that AMC has. You get used to how it likes to move up, how it likes to move down, how it likes to consolidate. By getting used to the stock's characteristics and tracking it every day, you could trade this one stock every day and make money on it out of all the stocks. So that way, when AMC sets up a great setup, I mean, look at this. this one day right here in the morning, just by simply connecting all of the lower highs on it, it's setting up like a wedge, and it's right at that VWAP. Where are we at for resistance? And it's at $28. Right there. So it's at 28 bucks. So if AMC starts ripping to the upside, what do you think is going to be the next big level? What level do you think everybody's going to try to get this to? Some people probably say, well, 29, Mr. Wolf. 28.50. Think bigger. The big money is focused on $30. 30. Right there. So from 28, you got an upside potential of $30 a share. That's a $2 potential to the upside. You have your low down here, 27.25. So up here at 28, you could put your stop down at 27.50 if you wanted, 27.25, 27. Anywhere you could put your stop. We're all different. I see a lot of people, they'll focus on, they'll strictly focus on the exact prices. So they'll see, all right, AMC came down here and it made a bottom right at 27.62. Then it made a bottom at 27.70, 27.76. So they'll say, all right, guys, support's at 27.76. That's where I see support. Just focus on the areas of interest. 27.75, 27.50. Focus on those areas, because nobody is randomly put in a buy and sell order at $28.01. Nobody's doing that. They're putting it at $28 or up above that, $28.25. And it also helps with managing your risk versus reward a lot better. So look at here, for example. If I draw my support right at 28.25, see how the stock came right down to it? And it was hovering just above that. Runs all the way up. 28.75. Next level's 29. Just start focusing on these psychological levels and areas, because that's where everybody's trading. NU is Warren Buffett backed new IPO. I don't really care for Warren Buffett too much. Sure, he's a great investor, long-term investor, but he didn't make most of his money till he was super, super old. Now he's so old and he has all this money. If he could buy anything, I bet you it'd be more time. Because that's all he has is time. And you. Yeah, when you mention Warren Buffett in a day trader's world, he's not really relevant. And when it comes to day trading, he's a buy hold dude. Now you want to talk? Bring up guys like Jesse Livermore. Now we're talking. Jesse Livermore blew Warren Buffett out the water. For those of you who don't know who Jesse Livermore is, look into the dude. The dude was a G. Best trader of all time. You'll hear a lot of traders bring up reminiscence of a stock operator and how that's a day trader's Bible. There's a lot of patterns that Jesse Livermore traded way back in the early 1900s that still pop up to this day. And we're over 100 years in the future from when Jesse Livermore was trading, and still the same exact patterns are popping up. Human nature never changes, as I always say. So if you guys have any more stocks you guys want me to pull up and look at, we're about done here for the day. So I'll throw that up real quick. If you guys have any stocks you want me to quickly pull up and give my 2 cents on if it's worth keeping an eye on. One stock, I would say, at a time. Don't comment 5 stocks, 10 stocks. That's insane. We got our weekly watch list posted in the Discord. If you guys aren't part of the Discord, there should be a link down in the video description below this or in the About section on my YouTube channel. Feel free to join it. You guys, for absolutely free, can see my watch list every day. I'll probably get off here in a moment, play some Salmon Run on Splatoons or something. Enjoy the rest of the evening before the week starts back up. I'd say that this is probably, too, the last good week of trading we have before all of the holidays. Yeah, HCP, this definitely could get up and running. A lot of good opportunity on it. I'm excited. There's a lot of good setups going into next week. And as we get closer to all of the holidays, might want to start scaling back and taking your foot off the pedal and protecting those gains, because the year is just about over with. People are going to start taking time off, start preparing for the new year. And it's funny, you know who I ran into on an Facebook advertisement on right before I did this stream? Humble Trader. Humble Trader's now advertising on Facebook. That's crazy. All right, so no stock recommendations, or nobody wants to comment any stocks? All right. Thanks, guys, for joining me on today's stream and creating this weekly watch list. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, night, and prepare for Money Monday. I'll see all you members in the weekly chat. And for you guys interested in joining, there should be a link down in the video description. Go ahead, join the Trading Learning 101 Discord. This Discord is completely filled with all kinds of great education for you guys. From chart patterns, candlesticks, book recommendations, all kinds of stuff. Chart patterns, all kinds of good stuff in here. Candlestick patterns, book recommendations, and there's all kinds of PDF books and audio books. So take advantage of it. I'll see all you members in the morning. We've been going for, this stream's been going for 2 hours. So enjoy the rest of the evening, you guys. And as I always say,